Hello everyone, my name is Shimika or Shimithra. Firstly, no apologies for my voice, I just woke up. Yeah, so today we are playing more Morrowind, and I'm super excited. But my settings are set, and I think the music, yep, it's turned back up. Okay, I'm gonna turn down footsteps while I'm at it. Everything else should be good. Actually, maybe I should turn down effects. Yeah. Okay, so this is episode 2 of me trying to learn this game or play through it, I guess. Yesterday we saved slaves over there, and I forgot what we were doing. I have been told that there is now a boat and crew that offers transport to the island of Solstium. Oh wait, was it only one page? Oh, it was. Oh, cool. Yes. An island to the north. Report the Cayas Cosadas. Well, I don't know where anything is, and that's okay. Cause we can just like, you know, figure it out. So I remember hearing stuff about this porter. Where is it? Right there. Okay. I don't know where we can get taken to, but.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
Aww. This is the seaport village of Sidanin, Outlander, in the Bitter Coast region. I'm a caravaner, and I manage the Silt Strider port here. Tell me your destination if you're looking for a ride, or if you're new to Sidanin, I can help you with local services or any specific place in Sidanin you're looking for. Or if you want someone in particular, I know where to look. What's a Silk Strider? It's really reminding me of Final Fantasy X, I'm gonna be honest. Silk Striders carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be traveled. The Silk Striders are giant insects. Oh. The compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. Oh! The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Oh, that's so... I don't think I like this anymore. Silk Striders travel between Alderun, Balmora, Sidanin, Zoran, Nisus, Molagmar, Morrigan, and North Landing near Vivek. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I am Dorvame Halaren. Caravan. Oh. I can take you by Siltstrider from Sidanin to Balmora, Vivek, Nisus, and Zoran. It is rumors. I've heard that the local tax collector, Processus Vitalius, is missing. No surprise. Really, he wasn't liked around here. Oh. Do you have any advice? If you're heading into the backcountry, always carry a couple of restore health, restore fatigue, cure disease, and cure blight potions with you. Okay, do you have any secrets? Talk to everyone, talk is cheap. Okay. I'm a caravaner. I can transport you by Silt Strider to various destinations without this fee. Solstheim. A terrible place, I've heard. There's a boat from Kul if you have any reason to go. Okay, services? Get food and sundries from Adel's trade house. That's also where you find anyone who offers training. Not much else in the way of services in this damp little squad. Someone in particular. The Altamur Adel runs Adel's trade house. So Susius Adgala is the chief agent at the census and excise offices. Okay. Okay. Let me look. Okay, my orders are to go to the town of Balmora. Okay, I think we should go to Balmora. Can you take me to 14? Oh, it is really cheap.
We make a special
Wow.
trip just for you. Same low price.
Okay. Oh, this place. Oh, what does it look like? Plano? Did Plano look like this? I forgot which place it was in FF11. It's been so long. Yeah, I remember the bar, and it was just White Mage Day whenever me and my friends got there. Recently-ish. It was like a few months ago or whatever. And so I was the only one that was allowed inside, and I was so lonely. What the fuck? What's that? Does Morrowind have drugs? Okay. Go to the town of Balmora in Vardenfell district and report to a man named Caius Coseras to find out where he lives. I need to go to the... I should ask in Balmora at the corner club called South Wall. Okay, the South Wall. What is this place? Door to the council club. Whoa, I can go on the roof? Hello? Welcome to Balmora, council seat of House Klalu. How can I serve you? Owie. Sorry, my finger? I think I scratched it. Where is Southwall? Southwall is a working class corner club in Balmora, cast of Oldai River on the south end of Labor Street, owned by Bacola Closius. I'm enunciating. So it's a working class. Okay.
There is someone watching me. I can tell.
Listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Oh, I'm scared. The voices, they scare me. The feet, the walk, the feet. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's a corner club. So corner clubs, I would think would be in a corner. I don't know actually. This is pretty cornery. That's just stairs. Does it go to anything? Oh. What about this? It's somebody's house. Or the same person's house. I think these are all houses. I mean, at least it's safe to check. Oh, what if it's up there? Oh man. Oh, this makes me really, really want to play FF11. I think I might do a series getting back into that as well. A bookseller? It's over here. Guild of Fighters. I could be a fighter, right?
Speak, traveler.
I need help. Well, okay, you're giving me the same information. No help to me. Useless. Okay, so that's the bookseller. Eat plates? What is eat? Is that supposed to be like a restaurant? This place sticks out. This must be it, right? I like the flags everywhere. Oh my gosh. Temple. Wasn't the temple? Am I accepted here? Am I gonna die? Oh. Would I get in trouble if I looted one of these? Blue glass pot of folded cloth. Okay, I don't want to check all of them. Hello there. What is this place? Hello, friend. I am Elin Faveren. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. Or try, anyway. And if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine too. Can you tell me about Balmora? Balmora is the council seat of Great House Lalu, and the largest town in Vardenfell, except for Vivek City, located on the Odai River and sitting astride to the Alderaan Vivek Road. Balmora is an important mercantile, trade, and travel center. High Town is the administrative center, with the temple and manor houses. The shops, guilds, and trade houses of the commercial district are north of the river. Labor Town's modest corner clubs and homes are south of the river. I have a map, right? Okay, do you have any advice to give me? If you want to talk to an enchanter about enchanting, try Galar Rothan at the Talivani Council House. He's not a stiff shirt like a lot of the Talivani wizards, and he knows his stuff. Oh, that's really good. I'll try to keep that in mind. Thank you. Although you're so helpful. So, I mean, I would expect somebody in a temple to be helpful, honestly. Oh! Okay. Okay. I like the art. It's pretty. Hello friend. I am Durval Andrano. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. Or try, anyway. Oh, wait, that's the same intro. Outlanders, new in Vardenfell, do best in Balmora. House Halalu is imperial through and through. And you get a good mix of native and imperial people and services. Not as friendly to Outlanders up north in the House of Redoran country or down in Big Vivek City. And definitely not friendly outcasts with the Talivani wizards. Shop the outfitters, then check out the guilds for work. If you want to be adopted by a great house, you'll need a patron, and that's easier when you've got a reputation. Okay.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Okay, reputation. Okay. So I have to get a reputation. Do I get a reputation by, like, helping people? Okay. So... Okay. Are they considering... So this is north? Oh! Wait, okay. Council club. House. Trader. Guild. House. I'm really thinking it's over there, but I kind of want to go see what the outfitter is, even if I don't have any money. Let's go see that. So it's down to the right. Wait, down to the... Yeah, right. Wait, which one is it? All the way down. Yeah, so I know, talk about, like, oh, I'm so excited and happy a lot. But I just wanna, quickly say thank you for the support on the last Morrowind video. It also means a lot. It just, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard not to say thank you and stuff. I don't know. Oh. Okay. Oh. I think I went in through the wrong way. Your new face. So what can I tell you about Balmora? I like to swap the latest rumors when there's something juicy enough to gossip about. Or maybe if you have a little secret, maybe I have one to trade. What's the latest rumors? Everyone knows the Balmora magistrate, Nolus Atreus, is on the take. Thieves, thugs, and murderers are getting ridiculous sentences or paying a drake and walking free. But they'll never get Atreus. He's got fat cats and family back in the city to cover him. What does that mean? The Legion champion, Larius Varo, over at Moonmoth Legion Fort. He has sworn an oath to stop corruption, but I don't see what he can do. I hear that in Balmora, Magistrate Nolus Atreus is on the take, but he has important friends who can protect him. The Legion champion Larius Varo over at Fort Moonmoth has sworn an oath to stop corruption, but it's not clear how he can deal with that situation. Okay. Harder. Okay, well, I already... Well, he has so many items, though. I also have like so no money. He has a book. He has a book. I need the book.
Go ahead, stranger.
Okay. Oh man. I was thinking I could steal from him. Okay. So now I think it's just this way. We'll cross the bridge and then we'll start check-in. Wait, unless that is supposed to be the corner club. I doubt it. But it could be, you never know. I don't know which side is supposed to be the south because I'm gonna be honest. My brain's a little small and there were a lot of words. Pawnbroker. Look. Oh, it's part 2. Wait, I need part 1. Where's part 1? Do you have part 1? Nature of Ores. Biography of Baranzia V1. Wait, what is that? Oh, the real? Oh! Drama in the biographies? Late in the Second Era, a girl child, Baranzia, was born to the rulers of the kingdom of Mournhold in what is now the imperial province of Morrowind. She was reared in all the luxury and security befitting a royal dark elven child until she reached 5 years of age. At the time, His Excellency Tipper? Have you seen my bear, Tippers? Septim the first emperor of Tambria, demanded that the decadent rulers of Morrowind yield to him and institute imperial reforms. Trusting to their vaunted magic, the Dark Elves impudently refused until Tibber, Septim's army, was on the borders. An armistice was hastily signed by the now eager Dunmer, but not before there were several battles, one of which laid waste the Mournhold now called Amalexia. Little Princess Baranzia and her nurse were found among the wreckage. The Imperial General Symmachus himself, a dark elf, suggested to Tibber Septim that the child might someday be valuable, and she was therefore placed with a loyal supporter who had recently retired from the Imperial Army. Sven Advinson had been granted the title of Count upon his retirement. His fiefdom, Darkmoor, was a small town in central Skyrim. Skyrim? Oh my god! Count Sven and his wife reared the princess as their own daughter, seeing to it that she was educated appropriately, and more importantly, that the imperial virtues of obedience, discretion, loyalty, and piety were instilled into the child. In short, she was made fit to take her place as a member of the new ruling class of Morrowind. The girl Baranzia grew in beauty, grace, and intelligence. She was a sweet-tempered, a joy to her adoptive parents and their 5 young sons, who loved her as their elder sister. Aww. Other than her appearance, the girl differed from the young girls of her class only in that she had a strong empathy for the woods and fields, and was wont to escape her household duties to wander there at times. Baranzia was happy and content until her 16th year, when a wicked orphan stable boy, whom she had befriended out of pity, told her that he had overheard a conspiracy between her guardian, Count Sven, and a Red Guard visitor to sell her as a concubine in Rehud, as no Nord or Breton would marry her on account of her black skin. Oh, and no dark elf would have her because of her foreign upbringing. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's so bad. Whatever shall I do? The poor girl said, weeping and trembling, for she had been brought up in innocence and trust, and it never occurred to her that her friend, the stable boy, would lie to her. The wicked boy, who was called Straw, said that she must run away if she valued her virtue, but that he would come with her as her protector. Sorrowfully, Valencia agreed to his plan, and that very night, she disguised herself as a boy, and the pair escaped to the nearby city of Whiterun. Wait, wait, that's whoa. sorry. I haven't played a lot of I haven't played a. I'm sorry, my chair is so creaky. I haven't played a ton of Skyrim, but I swear, I swear. Anyway, after a few days there, they managed to get jobs as guards for disreputable merchant for a disreputable. Okay, let's take it. Okay, a reputable merchant caravan. The caravan was heading east by side roads in a mendacious attempt to elude the lawful tolls charged on the imperial highways. Thus the pair eluded pursuit until they reached the city of Riften, where they ceased their travels for a time. They felt safe in Riften, close as it was to the Morrowind border, so the dark elves were enough of a common sight. Aww, that's so sad. Oh, the true nature of orcs? Oh, orcs! Whoa! Orcs were born during the latter days of the Dawn Era. History has mislabeled them beastfolk related to the goblin races, but the orcs are actually the children of Trinimac, strongest of the Altmedi ancestor spirits. When Trinimac was eaten by the Daedroth prince Boethia and transformed in that foul god's insides, the orcs were transformed as well. The ancient name of the orcs is Udsimur, which means the pariah folk. They now follow Malok, the remains of Trinimac. Who is Malak? He is more commonly known as the Daedroth Prince Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized. The sworn oath and the bloody curse, he is not technically a Daedra Lord, nor do the other Daedra recognize him as such, but this is fitting for his sphere. Of old, he was Trinimac, the champion of the High Elven pantheon, in some places more popular than Ariel. Interesting. Who protected them against enemies without and within. When Trinimac and his followers attempted to halt the Velathi dissident movement, Boethia ate him. Trinimac's body and spirit were corrupted, and he emerged as Malakath. His followers were likewise changed for the worse, despised by everyone, especially the inviolate Adia. They quickly fled to the northern waste. Near Sarthal, they fought Nords and Chimer for a place in the world, but not get much. In Skyrim, Malakath is called Orki, or Old Knocker, and his battles with Ysmir are legendary. Wow. Annotated Anuad? The first ones were the brother, Anu and Padome. They came into the void and time began. As Anu and Padome wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created Nur. Both Anu and Padome were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu, and Padome retreated from them. Retreated from them in bitterness. Nur became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Padome returned, professing his love for Nur. Oh no. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Padome beat her in rage. Anu returned, fought Padome, and cast him outside time. Whoa. Nur gave birth to creation, but died from her injuries soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 worlds of creation and flourished. After many ages, Padome was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattering the 12 worlds in their alignment. Anu awoke and fought Padome again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. He cast aside the body of his brother, who he believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 worlds into one. Nurn, the world of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Padome struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside of time forever. The blood of Padome became the Daedra. The blood of Anu became the stars. The mingled blood of the both became Aedra, hence their capacity for good and evil, and the greater affinity for earthly affairs than the Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, and all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 worlds of creation were the Elnofe and the Hist. The Elnofe are the ancestors of Mer and Min. Merman. Sorry, anyway. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn originally was the land, and with interspersed seas, but no oceans. A large fragment of the Elnofe world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Elnofe living there were the ancestors of the Mer. These Elnofe fortified their borders from the chaos outside, hid their pocket of calm, and attempted to live on as before. Other Elnofe arrived on Nirn, scattered amid the confused jumble of the shattered worlds, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Elnofe found the hidden land of old Elnofe, and were amazed and joyful to find other kin living amid the splendor of ages past. The wandering Elnofe expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the old Elnofe looked on them as degenerates. Oh. Fallen from their former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out and raged across the whole of Nirn. The old Elnofe retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the Wanderers were more numerous and tough by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, sinking much of the land beneath new oceans and leaving the lands as we know them. Tamriel, Akvir, Balmora, and Yokura. The old Elnofe realm, although ruined, became Tamriel, and remnants of the Wanderers were left divided on the other 3 continents. Over many years, the Elnofe of Tamriel became the Mer elves, the Dwemer, the deep ones, sometimes called dwarves, the Chimer, the changed ones, who later became the Dunmer. The Dunmer, the dark, or cursed ones, the dark elves. The Bosmer, the green or forest ones, the wood elves. The Altmer, the elder or high ones, the high elves. On the other continents, the wandering Elnofe became the men, the Nords of Balmora, the Red Guards of Yokura, and the Tsesi of Akavir. The Hist were bystanders in the Elnofe war, but most of their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived to become Black Marsh and Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Nords were the first colonizing the northern coast of Tamriel before recorded history, led by the legendary Isgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harold, was the first to appear in written history, and so the mythic era ended. Wow, this game has such cool lore! I'm sorry I'm reading it so much. I'll make the video like never mind. I'll probably, I don't know. I'm sorry that I don't know. I like lore. I like lore a lot. And so therefore I'm gonna read this one and the other one, and then yeah. Aedra and Daedra. The designations. Wait. designations of gods, demons, Aedra, and Daedra are universally confusing to the layman. Wow. Wow, you don't have to be mean about it. They are often used interchangeably. Aedra and Daedra are not relative terms. They are elvish and exact. Azota is a Daedra, both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Aedra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close to Cyrodiilic can come to this elven concept Daedra. Okay, maybe I I don't understand that. I'm so confused. Means roughly not our ancestors. Oh, never mind. I understand now. And this distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aedra are associated with Stasis Daedra, represent change. Aedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth bones. Daedra, who cannot create, have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the Moons. The Protean Daedra, for whom the rules do not apply, can only be banished. Okay. Okay, one more book, right? Okay, yeah. I think it's just one more book. Okay, so this is the real one. So there might be a part 1 that I missed, so I don't know. There's a Khajiit in this one! Oh my god, I like Khajiit! Oh my god! Bud and Zia and Straw settled into Riften for the winter, taking a cheap room in the slummier sections of town. Bud and Zia wanted to join the Thieves Guild, knowing there would be trouble if she were caught freelancing. One day in the ballroom, she caught the eye of a known member of the guild, a bold young Khajiit named Thetis. She offered to bet him if he would sponsor her membership. He looked her over, grinning, and agreed, but said she'd still have to pass an initiation. What sort of initiation? Ah, Theris said. Paid up first, sweetness. This passage has been censored by order of the temple. What? What? What does that mean? Straw was going to kill her, and maybe Thetis too. What in Tamriel had possessed her to do such a thing? She cast an apprehensive look around the room, but the other patrons had lost interest and gone back to their own business. She did not recognize any of them. This wasn't the inn where she said Straw was staying. With luck, it'd be a while or never before Straw found out. Thetis was by far the most exciting and attractive man she had yet met. He not only told her about the skills she needed to become a member of the Thieves Guild, but also trained her in them himself, or else introduced her to people who could. Among these was a woman who knew something about magic. Katisha was a plump and matronly Nord. I think I understand why that was censored. Okay, at least the game, at least the story writers. Yep. Okay. Was a plump and matronly Nord. She was married to a smith, had 2 teenage children, and was perfectly ordinary and respectable, except that she was very fond of cats. I'm a cat. And biological interference, their humanoid counterparts, the Khajiit, had a talent for certain kinds of magic and cultivated rather odd friends. She taught Badenzia an invisibility spell and schooled her in other forms of stealth and disguise. Katisha mingled magical and non-magical talents, freely using one set to enhance the other. She was not a member of the Thieves Guild, but was fond of Thetis in a motherly sort of way. Aww! Badenzia warmed to her as she never had toward any woman, and over the next few weeks, she told Katisha all about herself. She brought Straw there too sometimes. Straw approved of Katisha, but not of Thetis. Thetis found Straw interesting He suggested to Barencia that they arrange what he called a threesome. Ew, what the heck? Absolutely not, Barencia said firmly, grateful that Thetis had broached the subject in private for once. He wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. I don't know why I thought the I was like a little typing, like the how the mouse goes. Anyway, but Theris smiled, his charming triangular feline fangs, and sprawled lazily on his chair, stretching his limbs and curling his tail. You might be surprised, both of you. Petting is so boring. Ew! Fidencia answered him with a glare. Or maybe you wouldn't like it with that country bumpkin of yours, sweetness. Wait, no, that was him. Wait, no, what? Would you mind if I brought along another friend? Yes, I would. If you're bored with me. Oh, wait, what? Oh, never mind. Okay, I can't understand. You know what? Whatever. Okay, Valencia answered him with a glare. Or maybe you wouldn't like it with that country bumpkin of yours, sweetness. Would you mind if I brought along another friend? Yes, I would. If you're bored with me, you and your friend can find someone else. She was now a member of the Thieves Guild. She had passed their initiation. She found Thetis useful, but not essential. Maybe she was a bit bored with him too. She talked to Katisha about her problems with men, or what she thought of as her problems with men. Katisha shook her head and told her that she was looking for love, not sex. That she'd know the right man when she found him. That neither Straw nor Thetis was the right one for her. Aurenzia cocked her head to one side, quizzically. They say dark elven women are something. Prostitutes? She said, although she was devious. You mean promiscuous. Although some do become prostitutes, I suppose. Letitia said as an afterthought. Elves are promiscuous when they're young, but you'll outgrow it. Perhaps you're beginning to already, she added hopefully. She, like Barencia, had grown to be quite fond of her. You ought to meet some nice elven boys, though. If you go on keeping company with Khajiits and humans and what have you, you'll find yourself pregnant in next to no time. Barencia smiled involuntarily at the thought. I'd like that. Think. No, I think. But it wouldn't be inconvenient, wouldn't it? Babies. This is like some really weird, like, I don't know. This is okay. Babies are a little trouble, and I don't even have my own house yet. How old are you, Barry? 17. Well, you have a year or two yet before you're fertile, unless you're very lucky. Elves don't have children readily with other elves after that. Even so, you'll be right if you stick with them. I don't think I like the lore anymore. But Enzia remembered something else. Straw wants to buy a farm and marry me. Is that what you want? No, not yet. Maybe someday. Yeah, someday. But not if I can't be queen. And not just any queen, the Queen of Mournhold. She said this determinedly, almost sovereignly, as if to drown out any doubt. Letitia chose to ignore this last comment. She was amused at the girl's hyperactive imagination, took it as a sign of a well-functioning mind. I think Straw will be a very old man before some day comes. Very elves. Oh, wait. Elves live for a very long time. Katisha's face briefly wore the envious, wistful look humans got in contemplating the 1,000-year lifespan elves had been granted by the gods. True few ever actually lived that long, as disease and violence took their respective tolls. But they could. I'm so sorry, I'm struggling. And one or two of them actually did. I like old men too, Barry said. Letitia laughed, but Enzia fidgeted impatiently, while Theris sorted through the papers on the desk. He was being meticulous and methodical, carefully replacing everything just as he found it. They'd broken into a nobleman's household, leaving straw to hover outside as lookout. Thetis had said it was a simple job, but very hush-hush. He hadn't even wanted to bring any other guild members along. He said he knew he could trust Barry and Straw, but no one else. "Tell me what you're looking for, and I'll find it," Barry whispered urgently. Theris's night sight wasn't as good as hers, and he didn't want her to magic up even a small orb of light. She had never been in such a luxurious place, not even the Darkmoor castle of Count Sven and Lady Inga, where she had spent her childhood, compared to it. She gazed around in wonder, and they made their way through the ornately decorated and hugely echoing downstairs rooms. But Theris didn't seem interested in anything, with a desk and the small book-lined study on the upper floor. He hissed angrily. "Someone's coming," Barry said. A moment before the door opened, the two dark figures stepped into the room. Thetis gave her a violent shove toward them and sprang to the window, but Incia's muscles were rigid. She couldn't move or even speak. She watched helplessly as one of the figures, the smaller one, leaped after Theris. There were two quick, silent stabs of blue light, and Thetis folded over into a still heap. What? Outside the study, the house had come alive with hastening footsteps and voices calling out an alarm, and the clink of armor hurriedly put on. A bigger man, a dark elf by the looks of him, half lifted, half dragged Thetis to the door and thrusted him into the waiting arms of another elf. A jerk of the first elf's head sent his smaller, blue-robed companion after them. Then he sauntered over to inspect Barenzia, who was once again able to move, although her head throbbed maddeningly when she tried to. "Open your shirt, Barenzia," the elf said. Barenzia gawked at him and clutched it closed. "You're a girl, aren't you, Betty?" he said softly. "You should have stopped dressing as a boy months ago, you know. You were only drawing attention to yourself and calling yourself Barry. Is your friend Straw too stupid to remember anything else?" "It's a common elven name," Barenzia defended. The man shook his head sadly. "Not among dark elves, it isn't, my dear. But you wouldn't know much about dark elves, would you? I regret that, but it couldn't be helped. No matter. I shall try to remedy it." "Who are you?" Barenzia demanded. "I. So much for fame." The man shrugged, smiling wryly. "I am Symmachus, my lady, Barenzia. General Symmachus of his awesome and terrible majesty, Tibur Septim the First Imperial Army. And I must say, it's a merry chase you've led me throughout Tamriel, or this part of it, anyway. Although I guessed correctly that you'd head for Morrowind eventually. You had a bit of luck. A body was found in Whiterun that was thought to be Straw's, so we stopped looking for the pair of you. That was careless of me, yet I'd not have thought you'd have stayed together for this long." "Where is he? Is he alright?" she asked in genuine trepidation. "Oh, he's fine for now. In custody, of course." He turned away. "You care for him, then?" he said, and then suddenly stared at her with fierce curiosity, out of red eyes that seemed strange to her, except in her own seldom-seen reflection. "He's my friend," Barenzia said. The words came out in a tone that sounded dull and hopeless to her own ears. "Symmachus, a general in the Imperial Army, no less said to have the friendship and ears of Tibur Septim himself. You seem to have several unsuitable friends, and if you'll forgive my saying so, my lady." "Stop calling me that!" She was irritated at the general's seeming sarcasm, but he only smiled. As they talked and bustle, and flurry in the house died away, although she could still hear people, presumably the residents, whispering together not far off. The tall elf perched himself on the corner of the desk. He seemed quite relaxed and prepared to stay a while. This really feels like a fanfic. This is kind of weird. On a corner of the desk, he seemed quite relaxed and prepared to stay a while. Then it occurred to her, several unsuitable friends, had he said. This man knew all about her, or seemed to know enough anyway, which amounted to the same thing. What's going to happen to me? As you know, this house belongs to the commander of the Imperial troops in this area, which means to say that it belongs to me. Oh! Valencia gasped, and Symmachus looked up sharply. What, you didn't know? Just... I can't do it. Isn't that just clicking? Why you are rash, my lady. Even for 17, you must always know what it is you do or get yourself into. But the guild wouldn't have... Valencia was trembling. The Thieves Guild would never have attempted a mission that crossed Imperial policy. No one dared oppose the Tipper Septim. At least no one she knew of. Someone at the guild had bungled badly, and now she was going to pay for it. I dare say it's unlikely that Thetis had guild approval for this. In fact, I wonder. Symmachus examined the desks carefully. Pulling out drawers, he selected one, placed it on top of the desk, and removed a false bottom. There was a folded sheet of parchment inside. It seemed to be a map of some sort. Valencia edged closer. Symmachus held it away from her, laughing. Rash indeed! He glanced it over, then folded it and replaced it. You advised me a moment ago to seek after knowledge. So I did. Suddenly he seemed to be in high good humor. We must be going, my dear lady. He shepherded her to the door, down the stairs, and into the night air. No one was about. Valencia's eyes darted toward the shadows. She wondered if she could outrun him or elude him somehow. You're thinking of escaping. You're thinking of attempting to escape, are you? Don't you want to hear first what my plans for you are? She thought that he sounded a bit hurt. Now that you mention it, yes. Perhaps you'd rather hear about your friends first. No. He looked gratified at this. Ew. It was evidently the answer he wanted, thought Valencia, but it was also the truth. While she was concerned for her friends, especially Straw, she was far more concerned for herself. You will take your place as the rightful queen of Mournhold. Symmachus explained that this had been his and Tipper Septim's plan for her all along. The Mournhold, which had been under military rule for the dozen or so years since she had been away, was gradually to be returned to civilian government, under the Empire's guidance, of course, and as part of the Imperial province of Morrowind. Why was I sent to Darkmoor? Valencia said, hardly believing anything she had just been told. For safekeeping, naturally. Why did you run away? Valencia shrugged. I saw no reason to stay. I should have been told. You would have been by now. I had in fact sent for you to be removed to the Imperial City to spend some time as part of the Emperor's household. But of course you had. Shall we say, absconded by then. As for your destiny, and it should be, and should have been quite obvious to you, Tipper Septim does not keep those he has no use for, and what else could you be that would be of use to him? This is... okay. I know nothing of him, nor, for that matter, of you. To know this, Tipper Septim rewards friends and foes alike, according to their deserts. What? But Enzia chewed on that for a few moments. Straw has deserved well of me and has never done anyone any harm. He's not a member of the Thieves Guild. He came along to protect me. He earns our keep by running errands, and he. Symmachus waved her impatiently to silence. I know all about Straw, he said, and about Thetis. He stared at her intently. So, what would you? She took a deep breath. Straw wants a little farm. If I'm to be rich, then I would like for one to be given to him. Very well, he seemed astonished at this, and then pleased. Done. He shall have it, Thetis. He betrayed me, Enzia said coldly. Varys should have told her what risks the job entailed. Besides, he pushed her right into their enemy's arms in an attempt to save himself. Not a man to be rewarded. Not, in fact, a man to be trusted. Yes, and? Well, he should be made to suffer for it, shouldn't he? That seems reasonable. What form should said suffering take? But Enzia balled her hands into fists. She would have killed to beat and claw at the Khajiit herself, but considering the turn events had taken, that didn't seem very queenly. A whipping. Would 20 stripes be too many? Do you think? I don't want to do him any permanent injury. You understand? Just teach him a lesson. Aye, of course. Symmachus grinned at this. Then his features suddenly set and became serious. It shall be done, your highness, milady queen, Enzia of Mournhold. Then he bowed to her, a sweeping courtesy, ridiculously wonderful bow. Enzia's heart leapt. Oh my god! This goes on for so long! Oh my god, it does! We have to finish it. I have to finish it. What page was I on? Like, look, page 30? Wait, no. Wait, yeah. She spent 2 days at Symmachus's apartment, during which she was kept very busy. There was a dark elven woman named Drelian, who saw to her needs, although she did not exactly seem a servant, since she took her meals with them. Nor did she seem to be Symmachus's wife or lover. Drelian looked amused when Enzia asked her about it. She simply said she was in the general's employ and did whatever was asked of her. With Drelian's assistance, several fine gowns and pairs of shoes were ordered for her, plus a riding habit and boots, along with other small necessities. But Enzia was given a room to herself. Symmachus was out a great deal. She saw him at most meal times, but he said little about himself or what he had been doing. He was cordial and polite, quite willing to converse on most subjects, and seemed interested in anything she had to say. Julian was much the same, but Enzia found them pleasant enough, but hard to get to know, as Katisha would have put it. She felt an odd twinge of disappointment. These were the first dark elves with whom she'd associated closely. She had expected to feel comfortable with them, to feel at last that she belonged somewhere, with somebody, as part of something. Instead, she found herself yearning for her Nordic friends, Katisha and Straw. Okay, wait, I got really confused for a second. I was like, Nordic? You mean the Khajiit? The weirdo? And then, yeah, no. When Symmachus told her they were to set out for the Imperial City on the morrow, she asked if she could say goodbye to them. Katisha, he asked. Aye, but then, I suppose I owe her something. She is the one who led me to you by telling me of a lonely dark elven girl named Barry, who needed elven friends, and who sometimes dressed as a boy. She has no association with the Thieves Guild, apparently, and no one associated with the Thieves Guild seems to know your true identity, save Theris. That as well. I prefer that your former guild membership not be made public knowledge. Please speak of it no more to no one, Your Highness. Such a past does not become an imperial queen. No one knows but Straw and Theris, and they won't tell anyone. No. He smiled a curious little smile. No, they won't. That's scary. That seems intimidating. He didn't know that Katisha knew then, but still, there was something about the way he said it. Straw came to their apartment in the morning. On the morning of their departure, they were left alone in the salon. Although Badenzia knew that other elves were within earshot, he looked drawn and pale. They hugged one another silently for a few minutes. Straw's shoulders were shaking, and tears were rolling down his cheeks, but he said nothing. Badenzia tried to smile, so we both get what we want, huh? I'm to be queen of Mournhold, and you'll be lord of your own farmstead. Oh, she took his hand, smiled at him warmly, genuinely. I'll write you, Straw, I promise. You must find a scribe so you can write me too. Straw shook his head sadly when Badenzia persisted. He opened his mouth and pointed at it, making inarticulate noises. Then she realized what it was. His tongue was gone. Had been cut off. What the? That's so terrible. Badenzia collapsed onto a chair and wept noisily. But why, she demanded of Symmachus, when Straw had been ushered away? Why? Symmachus shrugged. He knows too much. He could be dangerous. At least he's alive, and he won't need his tongue to raise pigs or whatever. I hate you, Badenzia screamed at him, then abruptly doubled over and vomited on the floor. She continued to revile him. Between intermittent bouts of nausea, he listened stolidly for some time. When Jillian cleaned up after her, finally he told her to cease, or he would gag her for her journey to the Emperor. They stopped at Katisha's house on their way out of the city. Symmachus and Jillian didn't dismount. All seemed normal, but Badenzia was frightened as she knocked on the door. Katisha answered the knock. Badenzia thanked the gods silently that at least she was all right. She'd also obviously been weeping. In any case, she embraced Badenzia warmly. Why are you crying? Badenzia asked. For Theris, of course. You haven't heard? Oh dear, poor Theris is dead. Badenzia felt icy fingers creeping around her heart. He was caught stealing from the commander's house. Poor fellow. But that was so foolish of him. Oh, Barry, he was drawn and quartered. This very dawn by the commander's order. She started to sob. I went. He asked for me. It was terrible. He suffered so before he died. I'll never forget it. I looked for you in Straw, but no one knew where you'd both gone to. She glanced behind Badenzia. That's a commandment, isn't it? Symmachus. And Katisha did a strange thing. She stopped crying and grinned. You know, the moment I saw him, I thought, this is the one for Badenzia. Katisha took a hold of her apron and wiped it across her eyes. I told him about you, you know? Yes, Badenzia said. I know. She took Katisha's hands and each of hers and looked at her earnestly. Katisha, I love you. I'm going to miss you. But please don't ever tell anyone else anything about me. Ever. Swear you won't. Especially not to Symmachus. And look after Straw for me. Promise me that. Katisha promised, and puzzled though. Willing. Very. It wasn't somehow because of me that Theris was caught, was it? I never said anything about Theris to him. She glanced over at the general. Badenzia assured her that it wasn't, that an informant had told the Imperial Guard of Theris's plans, which was probably a lie, but she could see that Katisha plainly needed some kind of comfort. Oh, I'm glad of that. If I can be glad of anything just now, I'd hate to think. But how could I have known? She leaned over and whispered in Barenzia's ear. Samakius is very handsome, don't you think? And so charming. I wouldn't know about that, Barenzia said dryly. I haven't really thought about it. There have been other things to think about. She explained hurriedly about being Queen of Mournhold and going to live in the Imperial City for a while. He was looking for me, that's all, on orders from the Emperor. I was the object of question, nothing more than some sort of a goal. I don't think he thinks of me as a woman at all. He said I didn't look like a boy, though. She added in the face of Katisha's incredulity. Katisha knew that Barenzia evaluated every male she met in terms of sexual desirability and availability. I suppose it's the shock of finding out that I really am a queen. She added, and Katisha agreed that yes, that's true. That must have been something of a shock, although there was no likelihood of her experiencing firsthand. She smiled. Barenzia smiled with her. Then they hugged again, tearfully for the last time. She never saw Katisha again, or Straw. The royal party left Riften by the great southern gate. Once through, Symmachus tapped her shoulder and pointed back at the portals. I thought you might want to say goodbye to Theris too, Your Highness, he said. Barenzia stared briefly but steadily at the head impaled on a spike above the gate. The birds had been at it, but the face was so recognizable. I don't think he'll hear me, although I'm quite sure he'll be pleased to know I'm fine, he said, seeming to sunlight. Let's be on our way, General, shall we? Symmachus was clearly disappointed at her lack of reaction. You heard of this from your friend Katisha, I suppose. You supposed correctly. She attended the execution, Barenzia said casually. If he didn't know already, he'd find out soon enough. She was sure of that. Did she know Theris belonged to the guild? She shrugged. Everyone knew that. It's only lower-ranking members like me who are supposed to keep their membership secret. The ones higher up are well known. She turned to a smile, archly at him. But you must know all that, shouldn't you, General? She said sweetly. You seemed unaffected by this. So you told her who you were and whence you came, but not about the guild. The guild membership was not my secret to tell, the other was. There's a difference. Besides, Katisha is a very honest woman. Had I told her, it would have lessened me in her eyes. She was always after Theris to take up a more honest line of work. I value her good opinion. She afforded him a glacial stare. Not that it's any concern of yours. But do you know what else she thought? She also thought I'd be happier if I settled down with just one man. One of my own race. One of my own race with all the right qualities. One of my own race with all the right qualities who knows to say all the right things. You, in fact. She grabbed the reins preparedly to assume a brisker pace, but not without sinking one final irresistible barb. Isn't it odd how wishes come true sometimes, but not in the way you want to? Or maybe I should say, not in the way you would ever want them to? Wait, he said it? What? His answer so took her by surprise that she quite forgot about cantering off. Yes, very odd, he replied, and his tone matched his words exactly. Then he excused himself and fell behind. She held her head high and urged her mount onward, trying to look unimpressed. What was it about his response that bothered her? Not what he said, no, that wasn't it. But something about the way he said it, something about it made her think that she, Barenzia, was one of his wishes that had come true. unlikely as this seemed, she gave it due deliberation. He had found her at last after months of searching. It seemed under pressure from the Emperor, no doubt. So his wish had come true. Yes, that must be it. But in a way apparently not altogether to his liking. What the fuck was that fanfic that I just read? Oh gosh, okay. Well, I'm so sorry that the majority of this video was me reading. But thank you so much for watching. It really, really means a lot. Oops. Yeah, so we'll make more progress in the next video. But for now, bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Oh god.